Today, Precarious plays
Hades. I'm going to show you something in this room because, I mean, it'll be much easier to describe here.
Yeah.
So this is one of the most important things about this game compared to, say, Transistor, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are 6 weapons, and I want to very briefly demonstrate some things. So, for the most basic sword that you have at the start of the game, this is your attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are no more bells or whistles. There's no charge function. It's just a 3-hit combo. You can press triangle to do an AoE slam attack.
Mm-hmm.
You can dash and then swing, and you'll jump straight to the thrust.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's all. Compare that to, say, I should switch to...
Aegis.
No, I'll do this one. So,
All right, I'm ready.
no, I shouldn't do that. I should do this. This is the Shield of Chaos. It has a quick swing that you can go bonk, bonk, bonk with. Even then, though, no, see, I'm wrong, because even in this seemingly simple maneuver, there's a little bit of nuance, because if you press the control stick and press with good timing, see,
You go forward.
or you can stand still, and you can do stuff like this, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start bashing him against the wall and get wall slam damage. Mm-hmm. And then I stop moving to hold myself in place. So this weapon has a charge move, also on the attack button, which benefits from attack buffs, I think. Attack boons, I should say. Mm-hmm. And then its special is a shield toss. And it also has a dash strike. Mm-hmm. What else? It's a very different weapon. This is a very different weapon. So the adamant rail is a gun. It's straight up just a gun. And you have an ammo counter that appears down in the lower left-hand corner, 12 out of 12, and it's rapidly draining. Mm-hmm. You have to reload it. There's a little bit of a skill element, because watch what happens whenever I empty it. It lets me keep firing, and then whenever I release the button, I'm stuck standing still for a little bit.
Yeah.
But if I let off the button and choose to reload manually, I can smoothly keep running, right? It has a dash move of its own, which is a little hard to describe. Mm-hmm. So if you look at the damage numbers, you can see, oh, Skelly. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm. Live a little longer, would you?
So if you look at the damage numbers, see how that's pretty smooth?
Yeah.
If I dash, do you see like the rapid uptick?
Yeah,
it goes bum-bum-bum instead of bump-bump-bump-bump.
Yeah.
There's also a bombard, which is neat. And now this is the part that I actually wanted to stop and talk about. Every one of these weapons is actually 4 weapons.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just going to use Stygius as an example so we can move on. Generally, you have a really basic version with very few bells and whistles. So this is just, if you upgrade it with Titan's Blood, you move and attack faster. Boom, done. Super simple. Then there's the Nemesis aspect, where after you use your ground pound, the AoE ground stab, for a few seconds, your attack, your circle button, can deal critical damage. It's fine. It's fine. I much prefer the aspect of Poseidon because I think it's more interesting and allows for more interesting builds. Mm-hmm. This makes it to where your special... it's gonna die again. Usually whenever you cast, it gets lodged in an enemy. See the little diamonds above the health bar there?
Yeah.
The special move dislodges them straight away, so you don't have to wait for them to expire normally. And you can combine that. I had a very successful run combining it with a power from Artemis called Exit Wounds, where whenever those are dislodged, they take a huge amount of bonus damage. So it just wound up being this really fast little thing where I would do this 3 times and then do that and then get them all back.
And then
deal.
do again.
Yeah. So that one is interesting, but the fourth one usually is an aspect of a hero that is not like era appropriate. And that's introduced in a narrative way. They say like, I don't know if this person is from the past or from the future, but somebody that has some loose association with a weapon gives you a passcode, basically.
Yeah.
Like an arcane phrase that whenever you speak it to the weapon,
Stygius, awaken.
a new aspect is unlocked. So this is just straight up Excalibur. It is the aspect of Arthur, and this is really the first time I actually liked the basic sword. So I'm going to use Excalibur, and I have high hopes. Ooh, it does need to be 7. I'm actually going to turn that off because that was probably needlessly stressful. And we're just going to begin the escape now.
I'll ever be.
Good as I'll ever be.
Sulk in your chambers all you like, for I care not. I have eternity to finish with this work, so your assistance is entirely unneeded.
Sulk.
How times
Yeah.
have changed.
The,
Ready yourself, dearest, because you and we're going to have ourselves a little outing I expect that neither one of us shall soon forget.
she's lovely. Anyway, shoot, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Hades is really interesting because we were talking about this. So what has happened as you've been playing this for 80 hours and I've been like walking by on occasion and hanging out and doing other things in the periphery is that I pick up little stories that unfold.
Where do you think you're going?
Because I'll make a comment and you'll be like, well, actually, this is happening, and so talked to what's-his-butt, and they're back together now, but it's like all of this complex social interaction stuff that happens. But one of the things that was interesting was that Hades is not... He's kind of a jerk, but he's, like, not bad. He has, like, an important job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's true to, like, the myths that
Yeah. It's just that
inspired the game.
I remember Hades from two pieces of media. I remember Hades from the new musical Hades Town.
No problem.
Sometimes I think about the goddess Nyx and how I long for her to be the mother that I never had, cousin. Is it improper that I say such things to you? One would expect I would already have somebody on Olympus, yet it often feels as though I am the mother here.
Aw.
Athena needs a mentor friend.
A different boon.
And I remember Hades from like Disney's Hercules.
Oh.
Anyways, sorry, that was excuse me, Sweet Story. I was talking about Sweet Stories. Anyway, Hades,
Divine.
the Hades that I think of is kind of like a cartoonish trickster at the very least, and a mustache twirling villain most of the time. So this Hades is really interesting to me because he is kind of a dick, like, don't get me wrong, but it makes sense because the piece of the story that I found interesting as a reminder was that he has to take care of everyone's souls for eternity.
Yeah, and his family.
And he was, and it's really important how he said it. He was just bitching about work. Like, he was like, this is not fair. Stupid Zeus only has to take care of people while they're alive. What happens after that? Oh, I get them forever.
It's all Hades all the time.
Yeah, it's because, you know, this is the afterlife.
You spend in a Greek myth, you spend a lot more time dead than you do alive.
Yeah. And I mean, what? You can hang out on Mount Olympus ever? Can you? I mean, some special people?
I think that's just for gods.
Oh, so, like, there's really no heaven concept here. It's just this.
No, Elysium is heaven.
That's right. Okay, but where is Elysium? And who even
Here.
gets in?
Here. And
Here.
it's just for heroes, which is arbitrarily defined and something that they talk about in the game.
Speaking of which, The Good Place is a very good show, and I will leave it at that. We will come back to that someday, or you should just go watch it. If you're watching, you can take a break. Go watch that. But I love the characterization because he's just this like grouchy put-upon fellow.
Prior to your intervention, son of Hades, I expected that the goddess snakes had forgotten about me, whether purposefully or from passage of time. I believed that to be forgotten was the one true inevitability. Perhaps, however, I was incorrect.
You're welcome, grand person. Ooh, oh, but then I can't attack. That's rough. For 4 encounters, let me try again.
Anything else?
That is much easier. It's also not quite as good, but I'll take it. So don't use the special for 4 encounters. Or 4 encounters? 4 encounters.
You lads again, huh?
So when this weapon really started... Oh, I'm sorry, were you done?
No, yeah, I was. I just really enjoyed that detail, and like those details are everywhere here.
Good God!
In fact, it's kind of funny that we're playing. It might be better that we're playing so late in the game on the show, because if anybody sees this and goes, wow, that looks really interesting, a lot of the dialogue that unfolds over the course of 60 plus runs, it's so unique and there's so much of it that I don't think people are...
So, Aphrodite reached you first, did she? Sounds exactly like something she'd do. She has a knack for trouble. So let's just stay focused here.
Sorry, you were saying?
I was saying that because you're so late in the game, this actually feels less spoilery.
Oh, yeah. Because a lot of it sort of feels like out of context, maybe.
Yeah, it feels like you're just telling tales. Watching it unfold is a very different thing, especially when you bring in the fact of trying to manage your attacks and your weapons, which is what you were about to talk about.
Was I?
Yeah, you said, so the sword, and then you were like,
yeah.
wait.
So the sword, when this weapon really started to gel for me, and what made me appreciate it over all other aspects of Stygius, it has a Bayonetta-esque dodge offset that is very pronounced. I think other weapons have it, but because the swings are so slow, it's very usable. So see, it's got a thrust and then 2 swings that are very slow, but you can thrust, swing, dodge, hold on, thrust, swing, and then swing after the dodge. I'm thinking about it too hard, so I'm having trouble executing it right now. But one thing that you might catch me doing a couple of times is I'll do the sort of occasionally hard to hit with thrust, and then I'll swing into an enemy that's 1 dash length away.
Yeah, because it propels you.
No, it doesn't. It's not that it propels me. I did that.
Charon's
It's like, you know how in Bayonetta you can like, okay, so one of Bayonetta's most basic combos, I think it's punch, kick, punch.
Yeah.
You can, and it has a wicked weave at the end.
Yeah.
You can punch, kick, dodge, and then punch, and the wicked weave will still happen. That's the same thing that's happening here. If I just swing, it's just this. Sorry, Shades. Oops.
It's okay. They're here forever.
So this is what it's like if I just attack. But if I dash,
You can get a dash into that.
right.
I see.
Just what I need.
Will this help me? I don't think it will. I think I'm gonna skip that. Actually, what's next? Okay. One of these.
Of Olympus.
Oh. Yes.
Stronger still.
I got one of the cheesiest calls.
Yeah.
It usually the slower your weapon is, the better Athena's call becomes. Because it just makes you invincible.
So tell me, what's a call?
You're nothing.
Your call is bound to R2, and it is direct intervention from a god.
Whoa, like Was that what? Oh gosh.
That's when Dionysus kept showing
Yeah.
up on screen.
Yeah, Dionysus, his grape fury,
Yeah.
his like mad. Gosh, everybody here has such a personality. I just feel like he just spills some wine on the battlefield and it helps.
All of his power. So all of the gods have like a thing that they're about, or a couple things that they're about.
Yeah.
So Dionysus, he really does he have two things? He has like a little bit of support stuff. Mm-hmm. But really it's all about the hangover ailment.
Oh.
Dude, this is a rough one.
So he gives people hangovers.
And it's essentially a poison effect. It deals damage over time. So this is an interesting situation where I can get a really great reward that's high risk over there.
Yeah.
Or I can just have a nice, easy chat with Sisyphus. I'm gonna... yeah, because I would actually like Athena's... I would actually like either of their basic attacks. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna... I hate to do this, but I think whichever one you talk to second gives you a credier boon. Mm-hmm. And I really want Athena's dash, and it does not much matter to me if it is of a high rarity.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's not what I wanted though. So fine. Great. And now Athena's gonna be mad at me.
You could have avoided this outcome any number of ways, yet still you risk incurring my wrath.
Cool. Thanks, cuz.
So Athena's your cousin? Wait, who's Athena's mom?
Athena doesn't have a mom. She was born from Zeus.
Oh,
I think
okay.
she's one of the ones that fell out of a wound,
Okay.
if I remember correctly.
Oh, and that's why she's looking for a mom mentor. That makes
Right.
total sense.
Or why she's sort of wistful about Zagreus having one and she doesn't.
Yeah. Well, Zagreus.
Dang it, Athena, you dick. She made them all invincible just as my last hit was about to connect. Her what are they called? Challenges of the Gods? I can't remember what they're called exactly. Trial of the Gods. Her Trial of the Gods mainly just draws things out.
Chaos has
It can be dangerous, like in Elysium, where there are a lot of projectiles. Down here, it's mainly just annoying.
Now then, I hope we can move past this little incident and keep our focus on the task at hand.
All right, let's play everybody's favorite game, the wishing game. Dash, 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 dash. Oh. We'll stop there. That's fine, whatever.
Should have seen her first. Do not trifle with the gods.